Welcome back. My name's Melissa. I am the owner of Strong Healer, and this week I am discussing the root chakra. So last week we were discussing like the chakra essences, kind of like more or less like the consciousness that is around each chakra, and now I'm going to dive deep into each individual chakra. Today is the root chakra. In Sanskrit, it's pronounced Muladhara. It means root or support. The root chakra is found at the base of the spine, and it's going to activate your legs and feet. So those are like the body parts that are going to be associated with the root chakra. The glands that are associated with the root chakra are the adrenal glands. When those glands are activated, that's what produces the hormones to be in fight or flight response. And that is a natural survival instinct. So the root chakra is going to be your sense of survival in the world, how you cultivate peace in your environment, feeling trust in the process and having hope for the future. So if you find yourself starting to lack those feelings, then it's a good indication that your root chakra is not working as strongly as it could. So when a chakra is like working slowly or working overtime, what that kind of looks like is like, let's say through every day, do you feel like you're like walking through like thick mud, like quicksand, where it's like it's hard to just take a step and move forward and advance in life? That's a strong indication that your root chakra is spinning a little bit slower. So the energy that flows through each chakra kind of has like a spinning motion. And so if it's spinning more slowly, it just doesn't really have a lot of energy to give. So in order to activate the root chakra, some activities that you can do to activate are things like yoga, anything that's physically demanding, or anything that requires your presence. So just being present to the moment is a root chakra activity. Grounding, going out, standing in the sand, dirt, grass, whatever you have around you. It's going to help anchor your spirit into the physical. And in essence, like if you think about the archetype about the root chakra, the positive archetype of the root chakra would be the mother. So this is someone who is nurturing, patient, and gives hope for the future. The opposite, the negative archetype for the root chakra would be the victim. Even if there's something that happened to you that is out of your hands, like some sort of external force, like puts you in a really bad position, this is a soul lesson to learn to persevere through abrupt change and being able to be adaptable and flexible and not be dragged down by despair in these challenging moments. Everybody in their life is going to have some sort of challenge in one way or another, and it is a lesson for us to learn how to be more positive or optimistic and hope for the future, instead of just having these thoughts in your head like, I don't want to be here anymore, this is too much for me. That is somebody who has essentially like given up and lost momentum for trying to develop characteristics that would help build their future, help build upon their dreams. If you have some goal that's like super far away, rather than being pessimistic or wrapped up in all of the problems that are going to happen along the way, working on it little by little to build yourself up to get to that point. Because, you know, you can't build an empire in 24 hours. So it takes grit, it takes courage, and it definitely takes hope. So these are some of the feelings that are associated with the root chakra. Having hope for the future, being nurturing to the body, like knowing when to take action and also knowing when to take rest. Because if, in the other case, if you've been burning yourself being active, and there's like no true purpose behind your actions, that is also going to wear down the root chakra. It's going to be spinning really fast and working really hard overtime to try and bring structure and bring security and bring stability in your life. But if it's not actually fulfilling you and bringing you that pleasure, you are just going to burn yourself out, because that root chakra is going to start asking the other chakras above it for help to get energy to keep going. And what's going to happen, you're going to start burning out each chakra one by one. Eventually that's what happens is, down the line, when you reach the heart chakra, it's going to affect your immune system. So if you've been burning yourself, like a burning the candle at both ends type thing, you will get sick. It's just human nature. And this is like the way that our body speaks to us. It speaks to us through our physical activities, how we feel during those physical activities, how we feel physically. It's going to speak to us through the body parts, so legs and feet. If those areas of your body are tired, worn out, go get yourself a massage. Go relax in a bath, or find something like an environment that would be relaxing for you to engage in. And it's very important to take time for yourself. So that's why the archetype mother is the archetype for the root chakra, because you need to be able to nurture yourself. And the age in which you start beginning to develop this root chakra is from conception to the age of 7. So during those first 7 years of life, all of your experiences around survival, stability, security, that influence that you have within your family is going to be where you draw your wisdom and information from. So if you're able to take on the good things that your family does as a result to bring them that sense of stability and security in their life, and patience, and that perseverance through the challenging times, those are going to be your role models to look after for building a stable life for them yourself. And on the other hand, if you've only been surrounded by people who don't know how to build that sense of security and stability, this is going to be your opportunity to essentially break that ancestral lineage of misalignment. So it's going to be a little bit of work for you, but you know what? I believe that we all choose to anchor our spirit in the vessel that we are in. So essentially, we choose our parents, we choose the most of the experiences that we need to have in life in order to develop these certain characteristics and qualities within ourselves. So often you will hear stories about people who come from nothing, and they bring success to their life, and then they share this story because it's not uncommon for us to be in a place of despair because of the trauma that we've been through, all the negative influences that we could have had in our life. But to be able to persevere through that, to be able to be adaptable through change, to be able to still have hope for the future, that gives you a really strong foundation for your future, for your dreams, and also the decisions and steps that you take to move in life. I don't know. It's a good place to start. So that's why we're starting at the root chakra. So in meditation, a lot of times when you're doing like a root chakra meditation and you want to bring in light into your body, you're going to bring in a specific color for the root chakra. Primarily it's red, but you could also use black, browns, and like the sandy, earthy tones. So like in the brown family, black, red, and different shades of brown. That's a color of light that you can bring into your body that's going to help energize it. If you feel like it's moving slowly, or, let's say you've been burned out for a while and you haven't been very active and you want to reactivate that energy, those are the colors that you're going to want to use in meditation. If you just want to start with something simple, and then you can move it up a notch and start working with affirmations in your meditations. And here's a few affirmations that you can use for the root chakra. I live from my integrity. I love from my heart. I'm connected to life in all its glory. So take what you like, throw away what you don't. I know who I am and make choices based on what I know is right for me. I affirm my right to the life I choose. I confirm my right to belong and be part of something greater than myself. I know I am truly good. I live from the depths of my soul, longing to express itself in the world. I stand for justice, truth, and love. I am supported in life through all my choices to do good and share the light of love. My body supports me in living a creative and happy life. I'm open to the spirit of life that carries me beyond my original limits to a higher, more creative space. I am thankful for all the opportunities for growth and development that have come my way. I am grateful for the challenges that have taught me who I truly am. I love life. There's a Sanskrit mantra for stability and security. Om Dakini Namaha. And it means I activate my stability. And you're kind of like the centering thought when you're doing this is my life energy protects and secures me. So like my spirit, just by my spirit being active and present, gives me security and gives me protection. Trusting that you have a right to live, that you have a right to be here, that you have a right to choose. It's a very physical and strong energy. People who tend to go off in a negative way tend to be aggressive or violent. So if you do have somebody that's aggressive or violent in your environment, or you yourself have a tendency to be violent, this is something you need to look at. Your root chakra really needs some attention. And I would start with meditation with the colors of light, red, black, or browns. And if you would like to try crystal healing, I would recommend red stones, black stones, and brown stones. One of the most common ones used for the root chakra is ruby. I'm wearing a ruby bracelet now. This is from my shop if you care to take a peek. Hematite. I also have hematite in my store as well. Hematite is very heavy, and ruby is a dense stone as well. So when you hold these stones, you feel the weight of them, and it helps to ground that energy. For now, I think I'm finished discussing the root chakra. If you have any questions or if you have any constructive criticism to offer me, I am open to hear it. And thanks for watching, and check me out on my next video, which will be about the sacral chakra. All right, see you then. Bye.